Yay, we're live.
Yay! Hello. Sunday, 4 o'clock, February 15th.
Oh my
I always
gosh.
need to remind people the date because so many things happen from
It's
one day to the next, and you just want to be up to date. So, this is our third live show.
our third live show, and we started shorts on our channel, and we have a bunch of
Our third live show, and
racism unfiltered white women talk. And what our channel is we just talk, and our live show is totally cash, and we want people to come talk to us. So if you are listening, or if you realize that we're on, please say hi. And if you have things to say in the comments, we would love to talk to you. At least say hi and where you're from. Don't be shy, because God knows I used to be, and now I'm not. So I actually used to be really shy.
Yeah, I just said hello, everyone. So I just signed into my YouTube so I could at least see the comments, what's going on. Because for some reason it won't let me join it on the stream. So I'll be
Huh.
looking to the side every once in a while, just in case if anyone shows up. So, all right, Kim, what's
We
your
have
rant today?
we have a lot going on.
Today. There
I
is always a lot. I think
wanted to
that's
start by
what we
reading.
have to get used to. This is a
Uh,
new
what's
America.
that? Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, it's rough.
It's a lot. It
Every
is. It's going
day
to get
is
worse.
every day is like another week or month or year with the media and all that. But if you're watching, please say hello. And this is Michelle, and I am Kim. And just to let you know, this channel has I have been using this Angry Soccer Mom channel for quite some time because I got booted off about 3 or 4 years ago, and then I met Michelle, and we decided to try to start it back up again. So every Sunday at 4, we have our live shows, and right now there's no real format. I'll do a rant. I'll definitely talk about what's going on with Michelle, but it's just a really casual, absolutely kickback thing, and we want people to say hi to us in the comments and tell us where you're from. And a lot of people I probably end up knowing because I used to run a live show once a week on here, and there's so much going on this week. Is there anything special that? Well, first of all, before we start, let's tell people we both just wrote a book, and mine's coming out in a couple weeks. And how about yours, Michelle?
I don't know. I was working on the footnotes and the edits yesterday, so it's a slow moving process to do everything quote unquote correct, get all the edits and the footnotes. And so I want to make sure that I credit everybody, of course, for all the amazing quotes and information that I use in the book. So we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully next month, but I'm excited to get your book out there. It's going to be
Well,
so much
thank
fun.
you. Let me tell a little bit about my book, since I'm so hyper and crazy about my book. It's called Indoctri-Nation 365, and nation in capital letters, because you know what I'm talking about, Indoctri-Nation. And my book is for folks who are resistant, reluctant, maybe shy, maybe former Trump supporters, maybe, or just people who are new to the subject matter and want to learn about what the heck is going on in American culture. Maybe you don't follow politics, maybe you don't follow social issues, and like what the actual, is going on. Well, that's my book is for you. It's not about shame, it's not about put downs, it's about facts. It's mostly about history, and I try to make it super interesting. And it's coming out in just a couple weeks, hopefully in by the end of February. And
That's
I'm
awesome.
having on my web page is getting all ready, and my web page is called Indoctri-Nation 365, and it is extremely easy to find because it's just the name of the book.
Which
And that's
is
it.
great. Yes.
And
It reminds me, Kim, of I was just listening to Tad Stormer. I don't know if anyone follows him on Instagram, but he is an American author, professor, and he wrote a book on resistance, resisting America fascism, right? So the American resistance. And his books, of course, are banned, and he left the country. He took his little kid and his wife and left and moved to
out of
Denmark.
here.
Yeah, because when you write the history of resistance, you better get out of here. And you made a point that it's not, that we use this quote that, if you don't know history, you failed to repeat it, or that kind of thing. And the thing is that you're destined to repeat it, right? You may need to leave. What's wrong?
No, I don't mean now. I'm in the country.
Okay. You ain't leaving. You ain't leaving. No resistance. No,
like
we are
150
staying.
No resistance.
I was like, oh, do you need to leave right now? Okay.
No.
You get to. No, but what he said is that our history of what we know is a narrative that was never the truth. It was always rooted in a white supremacist narrative. And so when we went to school every single day, in junior high and high school, and took U.S. history, we never learned the truth. So when the quote is, if you don't know your history, you're bound to repeat it. Well, but the thing is that we don't know our history. And that's why I think your book is so great, because it helps people to understand really the narrative that is more inclusive of really more of the truth, more of actually what happened, and less of the narrative that we're American exceptionalism and we're so great, and from the Pilgrims and the Indians and all these narratives that we've been told about Washington and his wooden teeth when they were really enslaved Africans' teeth. There's so much that we have been taught, and I think why a lot of people have really. I'm sorry, what?
I debunk the lies. I really do.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Is that it's. You think you know the history, but you don't. And it's by design. So like you said, there's no shame or blame. It's that we are by design, weren't taught it. And so you really do have to go seek it out. And I think you've done an amazing job to be able to put it all together in a nice little 300 pages. So you don't have to read, even though Stamped from the Beginning is amazing, and The Warmth of Other Suns by Isabel Wilkerson and Dr. Ibram X. Kendi. Yes, I do encourage you to read those books, but starting with Kim's book might be, a great place for people to start.
It's for people to start. And part of the problem is, thank you, Michelle. I really appreciate your kind comments. Part of the problem is with my book, I've noticed, and over the 20 plus years I've worked with people who are really, really new to knowing our real racial history, white folks, I've noticed and it's with me too. I'm just as, I thought I knew history. I really did.
Yeah, I loved history. History is like my favorite class.
I thought I knew our real racial history. I didn't know shit. I knew nothing. I thought I knew. But then once I started here, once I started in, oh my God.
Yeah.
And it's been purposely kept from us.
Yeah.
And that's what my book's about. And my book will tell you everything you ever didn't want to, everything you need to know. And you will totally get it. It's just, so I can't wait. Anyway, enough about my book. And Michelle's book is more advanced book, which definitely is going to be a great read for anyone who kind of starts to get it and go, wow.
Well, if you really, again, just want to dig in a little deeper, do the self-reflection. This work that we do, trying to engage and to resist and to fight against white supremacy, being white ourselves, we have to realize that we have to fight that within ourselves first.
Absolutely.
That it's just like the analogy when people say you're on an airplane, you got to put your mask on first before assisting a child or someone that you care about, because at the end of the day, you're no good to anybody else until you are more whole. And I think
it's a lifelong journey. It's not a hobby. So
if you're thinking it's a hobby, it's then you're not doing the work. So mine's Liabilities of Whiteness. I invite everyone to go onto my YouTube channel of Liabilities of Whiteness and take a look. All my videos are there. I have 21 liabilities of whiteness, and they're all highlighted in my book, each one of them. And at the beginning of the chapter, you'll you have the scan code. So you scan code first, you watch my video, you actually see what I say, and then I talk about it in the chapter more in depth. And then there's pages of opportunities and questions to sort of unpack what you've just learned, what you've just heard, what resonates with you. So it's a real interactive book. So I'm excited about it because I think once people read your book, Kim, I know for me, when I started to learn what I didn't know, it made me really angry. It made me with such fire and passion that I needed to do something. And so I think this self-reflective work could be a really good opportunity for people to really delve in, to really think about, wow, why did I grow up in an all-white community? Have I really thought about that? Have I thought about why there was only white people there? Or
I never thought about being white. I was like,
right.
White? I'm not white. I don't belong to that group. I'm not one of those people. Yeah. I literally didn't think of myself as white. I was like, what an insult. I'm not. What am I? You think I'm a Klan member or white? Because we think we're just, like the norm. Like we're just, everyone else is other, but we're. We don't even
that's what Debbie Irving, who wrote Waking Up White, said. That she's like, I just thought I was normal.
Yeah.
I didn't have a race. I didn't have a race. Everybody else had a race. I didn't have a race.
Well, people get mad when I say, "Oh, white people." They're like, "Stop saying that word." I'm like, "I'm not making you mad." But there's a reason. It's because I
wonder if Marco Rubio thinks he's white.
Well, oh God, don't even get me started.
Well, I just, his speech yesterday, I'm flabbergasted. I'm flabbergasted that, first of all, that any American would stand on the soil of European land and say what he said. But then to have a Cuban American do that?
Can you tell people a little bit about that? Because I don't think that a lot of people, there's so much news.
There is so much news. There is. So Marco Rubio was invited to speak at a European meeting. I forget the acronym, MC something like that. I think it's the same meeting that Vance spoke at last year, that basically told Europeans that, you guys, that we're worried about you and you're useless and pretty much we have no use for you. So now they have this Cuban American man, and now he is basically saying, literally how I could translate his speech was, listen, fellow white people, you are the first colonizers. You are the foundational colonizers of the world. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. And you brought that colonization to America. And America is been colonized, and we are all filled with that colonization and the Christianity and the doctrine of discovery and the domination. Even use the word domination.
C word, colonization. Oh, what did you think?
Yeah, domination.
Good word.
I understand, and I think I might have told you this before, that my one of my indigenous friends, who's a Ojibwe, she had shared with me that the word freedom means free to dominate. Free dom, D-O-M in freedom is dominate. Free to dominate. And he basically literally got up and said, as this Cuban man, which I guess, I don't know if he thinks he's white. I mean, I guess his ancestors came from Europe and they did colonize Cuba. So
you shouldn't have to be that ethnic background to actually give a shit about other backgrounds. It's like, give me a break.
Well, it's just ironic that he is sitting up there saying, we came to America, we colonized. No, you didn't, actually. But basically saying, listen, we're going to colonize, we're going to keep colonizing the rest of the world, and we want you to join with us. That's basically what he said.
I just don't get it. I don't think I'll ever get it. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Things are pretty out of control.
This is what a dying empire does.
Yep.
And just like Europe died, their empire died. Rubio was saying, we're not dead yet. We're not dead. Join us. We don't want you to be weak. We want you to fight with us. Come on, build strength. We might be hard. We might be a little direct with you, but we need you on our team. It's like, yeah, because you got nobody else. And you know what? I hope the Europeans aren't that stupid.
I don't want to be on a
I know
team.
the European people aren't.
I don't want to be on a team that has to harm other people to feel strong and big. I just don't want to be on that team. I'm not buying into it. And you know, I'm just not. And if we have to put other people down and make them small for us to think we're really cool, screw it. I'm out. I'm sorry. I'm out. I don't find being an effing bully to be attractive. I don't find being an asshole. Oops, an asshole. I don't find, sorry, get a little fresh air. I don't find being a total jackass to be something cool and tough. I think being cool is being empathetic and having compassion and really, really caring, because that's what being human is about. And I'm sorry, I'm just saying it. Call me a nerd, call me a geek. I don't care. You know,
totally agree.
They're out of control. We're in the twilight of our democratic republic, all because white folks are afraid. We're afraid. We're afraid of it's just ridiculous. We're afraid that maybe once Black and brown and indigenous people are the majority in this United States, maybe they'll start treating us like we've treated them.
They are the majority of the people of the world, 90% of the global population. And they're worried about that somehow 90% of the global population, when they brought half of them here in their colonizing efforts. I mean, just come on.
Somebody said hello. We got a Soldier Forge on.
Hello.
We want everyone to say hi. If there's something you want to talk about, tell us. We are totally open. We have almost zero agenda, which is of course a lot.
Comments.
You know, I have a little bit of an agenda, but do you have anything to say? If there's any stuff you want to talk about, Michelle and I started my old channel, Angry Soccer Mom, back up again, and it was off. I was out of the algorithms. I got kicked off of being monetized. So proud. No, I'm just kidding. I got kicked off being monetized with no recourse, no reason. We all know the reason, and there was nothing I could do. So I was off for 3 years. And we're out of the algorithm, so we're hoping people will start watching our live shows. We've been doing a podcast called Racism Unfiltered, White Women Talk, and we have a pretty clear agenda. Each one is about a certain topic. We're talking to beginners. We're not talking sophisticated, you know, really difficult subject matter, deep, you know. We're talking about stuff that everybody needs to know. If you're white, you need to know it. Otherwise, you're out of the loop. You don't know what's going on, basically. And we're talking about it because we want other white people to talk about it with us.
And get involved and start doing action. I just came from 2 hours standing out on the highway.
Tell us.
Yeah, so every Sunday, pretty much every Sunday, I go out. I had to change to tarps because we had letters that we would put on the highway across. But now the police came and told us that we couldn't adhere anything. So now we have to hold everything up. So I had to make some tarps. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like it's a rule.
And what you're doing is you're trying to tell people on the freeway driving by, hello.
Yes.
This is a participant sport.
Ice out. Yes. Ice out, stop ice, resist. We had all kinds of signs. We had join us. We're trying to mobilize and get more people interested. So, you know, it's one way that you can do in the wintertime, you know, that you can get thousands of people's attention because you're out on both sides of the highway. It's a mass highway in Massachusetts. And, you know, I would say every 3, 4, or 5 cars, you get a honk and a beep. And you know what's so interesting? Guess who beeps the most?
I don't know.
Big trucks.
Awesome. No stereotypes on this
drivers, show. Truck drivers. Cool. You know, I think they're probably one of the most educated people because they are listening to every bit of the news. They're talking, they're communicating. That's what they do all day long is they can listen to all of this shit. And they are the ones that beep the most. The Amazon trucks, the Walmart trucks, the buses going back from Boston to New York, all of the trucks. It's amazing. I would say 90% of the trucks honk.
I saw something on the side of the road, and they said something. I won't say what they said. Their sign was maybe rather. How shall I put it? Very, very hopeful in their ideologies. And I went beep beep, and my kid's like, "What are you doing, Mom?" I'm like, "Okay." I go, I'm showing that person that
Yes, you
I think
got
it's
to
awesome.
honk. You drive by, people standing out. That's what we want to see. We want to see the honks. You know, it's just a way to get people engaged, especially in the wintertime. You're standing in 4 feet of snow. They don't clear off the sidewalks on the highway. Um, so it's just, again, don't think that you can't do something. You know, I brought all the signs. People showed up. We had about 8 people on each side. They didn't have to bring anything. They just came. And I had a bunch of American flags we were waving, right? So people could see us as they drove by. And
People need to participate. And one of the things that I love that you do that. I love that you do that. You go out there and say, hello, we're here. You're not alone. And we want to
yes,
resist this fascism. And the thing I
yes,
love about it personally is that people, God, it's not the Klan members. It's not the people who, sheets on, sheets off, whatever. It's not those people. It's not people who get it and who are trying to learn and educate themselves and make mistakes. Maybe like I do. I make mistakes, but I still trying to understand, and I'm trying to learn and care and do the right thing. It's everyone else in the middle, all the white folks in the middle who maybe they think, God, I don't like what's happening here. This is not good. But they keep it to themselves. They're quiet about it. They don't say anything. And so they're thinking in their head, probably like, wow, this is not good. I think our country's becoming a fascist, authoritarian nightmare, but they don't talk to anybody. They don't reach out. They don't educate themselves. They don't educate their family, their friends, their coworkers. So it's basically they're thinking in their head the whole time. And that's lovely. But that's the biggest group of people who are doing absolutely nothing. And they think being nice to everybody is enough. And it is not enough to dismantle centuries of extreme systemic racism and the fascism that's overtaken our nation. It's just not
yeah,
enough. Being nice to everybody is not enough. You have to
no,
take
it
action.
definitely is
So,
not. So they asked, do you think the Dems are going to win in the midterms?
oh, good question. What do you want to take this question, Michelle?
You know, this is really tough because, to be totally honest, if we were a Democratic Republic, like I know we always thought we really were, even though we've been sinking out of democracy for a very long time. If there was a normal quote unquote election to happen in November, I think it would be a landslide. I absolutely think it would be a landslide that we would take back the House and we would take back the Senate. And I think that's exactly what the Republicans understand, what Trump administration understands, and that's
Yes.
why they cannot let us have a normal election.
No, they cannot.
So
They cannot.
when they cheat, which they are totally fine doing, they don't care if gerrymandering gets rid of 6 Democratic leaders in Texas. They don't care if they are putting out the SAVE Act, which I know Kim is going to go over.
A lot to say about that.
That is going to make it much more difficult for millions of people to vote coming up in November. So to be totally honest, it's really a difficult, question, but I think that one that we need to understand that this is not going to be a normal election. And I think that they are going to cheat and to do whatever they can to be able to keep power because they know that this is not an administration that most people support. His ratings are down to 30%. The Gallup poll just came out and said we're no longer going to share what the presidential opinion is. We're no longer going to do the poll on the president and wonder why that is. Okay. So much is happening. And I think it's really key to watch what they are trying to restrict, what they are trying to stop, because it tells you everything about what they're trying to do. So they are very blatant in everything that they're doing and why they're doing it and how they're doing it. So just understand that I think that not only do we have to be calling our senators and everyone that we can to get this SAVE Act to be destroyed, but we also need to encourage anyone that we talk to. There's 39 million, there's more people that don't vote than do. And so we really need to be encouraging the people that do not vote, that do not think that it matters, they don't care for whatever reason. We really need to be encouraging them to get out the vote if we're going to have any chance. And I want to be hopeful, but I'll be honest with you. I mean, I honestly feel that they cheated in the last election. I really don't feel that he won 8, states. What are they called? What are the states that are called that basically tell the whole election?
Oh,
Because
the electorates,
no, the
electoral college, or the
not the electoral college. The states that
the swing states, or the
the swing states. Yes,
swing
they.
states.
Yeah. I mean, President Obama didn't even win all the swing states, and and President Trump did. Like, there's just no way that happened. So,
There's a
yeah.
lot going on. A lot going on. I wanted to tell people really quickly.
Swing states. Yes, you put it in there. Thank you for helping.
Yeah, we need help. I need help too.
Yes.
Swing states. Hey, I beat you to it barely.
Yes.
Okay. Or maybe it was the lag in pressing send, but I want credit. Okay, so what's the SAVE Act exactly? There's definitely two things to say about the SAVE Act. On one side, the Republicans are saying it's one thing, and then there's, I'm sorry, the other side, which is actually just the truth. I won't even label it the truth. And the reason I know this is because I get a lot of pushback from the other side telling me, "Are you kidding me? What? You should have to definitely show an ID. You should definitely have to show an ID to vote." Well, lo and behold, that's not what the SAVE Act is. Okay, so that's just not what it is. They don't get it. So I wanted just to be really honest about what the SAVE Act is really quickly for people who don't know. You can jump in and be involved in the conversation. And let me tell you, and I will do this really fast. Most people think the SAVE Act is just like, oh, go show your driver's license and then you can vote. Well, that sounds pretty reasonable, doesn't it? That's what we're led to believe. But that framing is extremely intentional to make you think it's just logical. It sounds reasonable. Of course, elections should be secure. Of course, people should show ID, but that's not what the law is. So welcome to It's a Lie, what they're telling you. The SAVE Act requires proof of citizenship documentation, like passports and birth certificates, and just to register or to re-register. And that's completely something different than showing a driver's license. Okay, so when you hear voter ID, you're thinking something simple, something easy. No. That is not what they're talking about. Unfortunately, it's a misunderstanding, and it's not by accident. They're purposely making you think it's common sense.
Well, their whole goal is to stop women from voting. That's their goal. They don't want black women voting. They don't want white women voting. They don't want women voting because the majority of white women and I think we're the majority of white women vote Democratic, but definitely 92% of black women vote Democratic. So how do we get to stop these people from voting? And so they're thinking of everything that they possibly can. And they're like, oh, well, you've got women who change their names. So now when they get married, their name is not the same as it was when they were born. And so that's going to be a loophole. And then we stop them from voting. It's really,
they're really trying to do.
They're getting very desperate. They're very much afraid because Trump even says it. Bannon even says it, right? You see Bannon like, oh my God, we're all going to jail. As soon as we lose power, we're going to jail.
Absolutely.
Well, Trump knows that he's going to be held accountable. And you know who's going to go down first, Kim? The white women. The white women.
Absolutely.
The Pam Bondis. Just like Ghislaine Maxwell's the only white woman that went down for the pedophile ring of men is going to be the white woman. Pam Bondi and Christy Gnomes. And what's the other? Kelsey Gabbard, whatever her name is.
All the white women are going to be.
All the white women are going to. They're going to say like, okay, yeah, we were guilty. Take them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
so they ask, so true. But how do you break the mega bubble? All they consume is propaganda.
Absolutely. We have to get to these people. And that's what books like mine and books like hers and us doing these live shows and talking and Michelle and I, we do once a week talk show that's videotaped. We're doing everything we can. We talk to people. We talk to our neighbors, our friends, our colleagues, our family.
And that's what everybody has to do.
Post and spread the truth. White folks, okay? Black folks and brown folks and indigenous folks have been carrying us, trying to keep this liberty and justice for all thing going. And they are the ones that have been doing almost all the work. White folks, it's our turn to step up to the plate. No guilt, just do it. It's our liberty and justice too. And we do not benefit in the long run from keeping all this sick racism. We do not benefit in the long run. Read my book. I'll explain it all. I won't explain it here. But so what's going to happen is with the SAFE Act, we're going to have to show our birth certificate, and it better match our driver's license, and it better match our passport. Because if we got married and changed our name, which I did, and 69 million women did, you go to vote, not happening. Okay, if this thing passes, and part of the problem is the poorer you are, okay, the harder it is to pay for all this stuff. Get off work, do all this. It took
passport's like $200.
It could be 6 freaking weeks and $30, which is pretty okay, to get a new birth certificate for one of my kids. Okay, 6 weeks later.
And actually, a lot of people were born by midwives. Yep. A lot of people were born, especially
need a raised seal
in rural areas.
Not just the copy. No. And it's going to disenfranchise millions and millions. It's purposeful. Okay?
Right. Because they are getting desperate, as they said.
Absolutely.
They're getting very desperate because they can't allow a democratic election to happen without knowing the results. That's not what dictatorships do. Look at Russia. Russia doesn't have any elections unless they know that they're going to win them. I mean, any dictatorship, you see, you know, there was one, I know that I saw something about Saddam Hussein when he was running. There was one question on the ballot. Do you agree with Saddam Hussein? It was like yes or no. Like 99% said yes.
We'll kill you if you don't, but go ahead and do it.
Exactly. But vote now. Vote here.
Right.
Yes. And we might, laugh about it, but it's
not funny.
No, it is.
We're laughing instead of crying, right? I got to interrupt for a second because anybody watching, if you believe like Michelle and I do that it's way past time, step up to the plate. Please consider subscribing to our new channel. We're trying to get it revamped again. It's been years. I think I mentioned, I'll probably mention this 50 times. I was monetized, and they booted my ass off in one little click because they didn't like my subject matter. I had no recourse. They didn't tell me why, but we know why. I was talking about a lot of stuff they didn't want me to talk about. I wasn't swearing as much as I do now. I wasn't being naughty. I wasn't doing it, but they did not like my subject matter. So we're revamping this. So please support us. Put playlists on play and play them all day. I'm just kidding. Do what it takes. The monetization stuff's totally different now, so I got to figure out. But what we want to do, the reason we want to get monetized is not because we're going to make money, because, oh my God, you have to have millions to even make anything. Is we want to get in the algorithms. That's what we really want. If you get in the algorithms, people see your videos. We want to spread the word that you are not alone. We want liberty and justice for all to actually mean something. For all, not just white people, and like maybe white women might win, but maybe not. We want it to actually be for everybody. So we love our fellow brothers and sisters who are Black, brown, indigenous, and white, and we all want them to know that freedom for one is freedom for all, and stop all this crazy racism crap. So that's kind of. So I have something to tell you.
Okay.
I'm so crazed about this. About the SAVE Act is I have people telling me, one person, I'm not going to mention names, but you can find out pretty easily. They say, you're an adult and you don't have a birth certificate or you don't have a social security card, then you're not intelligent enough to vote. That's what they told me. I'm like, what the actual?
They don't want to hear it. They don't want to know the truth.
I got my comment. So I kind of went off a little bit, which is very wrong with me, I admit. But for the purpose of our show, I'll read you what I wrote. I'll probably erase it. It was really wrong because I was like, oh my God, this person, like, ha, judgmental much? Okay, Michelle, you're gonna think I'm freaking evil. I put judgmental much, elitist much? That's not something that can be used for an ID. A social security card? My little daughter that was adopted had one when she came in and she wasn't a citizen. It's like ridiculous. Anyone can get that. Did you even watch the video I said? And I'm like, oh, that's not very nice. Anyone can get a social security card. If you're married, you need a passport. The SAFE bill doesn't require a social security card. I think it's interesting that you're judging and you didn't even listen or comprehend the video well enough. And you're saying that people shouldn't be able to vote who don't have a birth certificate. You need a raised seal. You need your original birth certificate. These things are not simple to get. And so I kind of went off on this person. I know it was wrong of me, but it's like all the misinformation is driving me crazy because people are falling for it. They're falling for it.
Well, but again, you have to understand that no matter what you said, no matter how you said it, they don't want to hear it. Okay, they are going to follow what this administration says and what they think, and they think all these people are illegally voting. They're thinking immigrants are voting. They're thinking people are not born in this country and whatever. I mean, they believe all of these horrific things that are just not true. It's been proven over and over again. They don't care. So no matter how much information you give them, and no matter what truth you try to tell them, they really just don't care. So, I mean, yes, it's important to keep spreading what is the truth, that, this is an opportunity for them to be able to make it more difficult to vote. That's why they have the Voting Rights Act, with the Supreme Court right now trying to gut that. They've already got some of it out. So, I mean, we just have to focus on the pancakes we can flip and not the ones we can't, okay?
I know I shouldn't be so, I wasn't trying to be so shaming. This person was saying somebody who doesn't have their own birth certificate with a race seal and all that is too stupid to vote.
Again, it's just.
How dare they?
Yeah, it's typical and it's expected, and I just wouldn't even deal with it. Do you think the Dems should be more progressive? It might make Mega pull away from Fox for a bit.
I'll say, I would like to answer that. Oh, hell yes. Okay, can I just say, do you think the Dems should be more progressive? Okay, here's my take, and that is a great question. I'm sorry, I'm totally taking over. I want to say, yes. Oh my God, yes. We think in this country that we're progressive and that we're really liberal. Oh, hell no, we are not liberal in this country. Wake the beef up. Okay, check it out. We have the death penalty. We still murder people. If you kill someone, we're going to kill you. But it's wrong to kill. We do that with total impunity. We do that to people, and I promise you, okay, the minute they murder, by state-sanctioned murder, a whole bunch of rich people, that'll be the day I'll reconsider. Because it's always people who don't have a lot of money. It's always people who are poor, and it's mostly people who are Black, brown, and indigenous. And I'm talking about percentage-wise. I'm not talking about numbers, but percentage-wise. And it is so unevenly, unfairly afforded. And 4% of all the people that get the death penalty, guess what? 4 out of 100 doesn't seem like much, does it? Well, if you're one of the 4 out of the 100 that gets killed by the state that were innocent, it's kind of a lot. Okay, we still have a 4% error. 4 out of 100 people are killed by the state, and then we say, whoops, we made a mistake. So, oh my God, we are not a liberal country. We are not. We've taken away women's right to choose whether or not they have to die when they get pregnant. I could go on and on and on. There are so many things that we are so not liberal. So yes, we are not a progressive country. Progressive to us is like
close. Not even close.
I'm just saying.
Not even close. There isn't anybody that's progressive. And look what happened. Bernie was progressive, and they shut him down. The Democrats shut him down. So we have a lot of work to do. We have to have a lot of younger people engaged and getting involved and running for office. And we have to get rid of Citizens United so they can actually run for office and not have to, fundraise millions and millions of dollars. So, this is going to be a long, tough road. It really, really is.
New York's going in the right direction. That's where I live. And I got to say, I've only lived in New York and California. Okay, so I'm spoiled little, you know what? Because I cannot imagine living somewhere where people look at Black and brown folks and they look at them as if they're not I just don't get it. I cannot.
Well, I know it because you know the history and you understand how they've been indoctrinated in your indoctri-nation. Yes.
That's my book.
Well, no, Mamdani, obviously the mayor, that is super, super exciting. And hopefully New York will lead the way. And so, all right.
Great question.
Head out. Do you have another question? Yeah, I have to go. So
I got to wrap it up. Yep. Okay. Well, we're going to say every Sunday we are doing this show. It's just an open talk, to meet people. And I love Soldier for Ja. Thank you so much for your questions and comments. And anybody else watching, we appreciate you. We're doing it every Sunday at 4. We'll talk about anything you want. And please consider subscribing to our the newly revamped YouTube channel. It was Angry Soccer Mom, and now it's going to feature most of our just Michelle and I and Racism Unfiltered, White Women Talk. And yes, we talk. Thank you for being here.
We
ring the
ring
bell and
a
subscribe.
lot.
And I know I never shut up. So
Yes.
anyway, thank you
Kim,
so much.
thank you.
Hey,
Thank you. Talk to you
thank
soon.
you. See you next Sunday.
Bye.
Bye.